Hi guys, welcome back. All right, Pisceans, let's go ahead and take a little peek at this Pisces. Let's see what have we got. I am right now still focusing on the Big Ben here behind me. So, what is the thing that is just the right time for Pisces right now? We got the Page of Coins upright. It's the right time to have some new ideas, take some new steps, talk to some new people, get some things off of our to-do list, send the messages that we wanted to send, and I think give somebody new a chance. If there was a false Two of Cups relationship out there, this might be a really good time to just say, you know what? A disappointment does not define the rest of my life. If I met somebody and it turns out they couldn't be my forever person, it is a great time for me to say, well, that's because it's some other person. There's other amazing people up ahead for me. So let me start talking to new people. Let me start seeing the fact that there's a whole, 8 billion plus people on this planet. Oh God, this is so happy. This is a time for Pisces to get their happiness back. It's the right time for them to no longer fret over whomever didn't turn out to be the person that could go the distance with them. Or again, if Pisces was deeply disappointed by someone, even, I'm not saying that it doesn't matter or anything like that. It's just there is more ahead for Pisces. Give me another message on this. Eight of Pentacles upright. Yeah, this is really lovely. This is really starting to take a shape of like Pisces has other things to work on. And they've already been working on certain things in their own life. This Pisces, I feel like, is excellent at some kind of like their hobby or something that they do for a living, but they are so incredibly talented and shifting their energy back to like acknowledging just what they've created already in their life and allowing themselves to like really embrace the fact that what they thought a romance was going to look like, maybe that's not the case, but that means again they get to have a totally parallel life. They get to do something different. They're going to still have great love. They're going to still have, maybe they even get to become a different persona if they think about it like this. So, sometimes when we imagine ourselves with a certain person, we imagine what that life would be like. And if that life story doesn't work out, we can be really sad, or we can flip the script and say, now, wait a second. Maybe that person loved the country and I always assumed I'd move into the country with them. But what if I'm way more cosmopolitan? What I'd really love is to dress in fine outfits and go to like, black tie events and go to the opera and, oh my gosh, wait a second. I could meet somebody who might be a diplomat or might be somebody who, runs in these very, satin silk dresses and black tie events. Oh, now wait a minute. That's sounding pretty nice. That's something like that would be a different version of happiness. Look, there's always one thing that we think we could do, but in truth, there's a lot of different timelines, a lot of different lifestyles that would suit us very, very well. And I think this is suggesting, in fact, Pisces might have been pining over a relationship that really didn't have all the components that Pisces genuinely wanted. It almost feels like it's time for Pisces to put themselves out there again, start talking to other people, maybe start dating again if they're ready for that, if their heart is ready for that. But go after the other kind of lifestyle, maybe the one that they actually have wanted. I feel like this Pisces is very cosmopolitan. I feel like deep down, the most authentic version of Pisces may be very grounded and very, based in reality, but at the same time, they look real good, all shined up, all polished up. This Pisces is somebody who could perhaps be meant for a life of, like I say, a little bit more fancy dinners and diplomacy and five-star hotels and things like that. We got a Page of Swords. There is a song right now by Shine, Shyne, and Barrington Levy called Bonnie and Shine instead of Bonnie and Clyde. And it, I don't know, that song is in my mind right now. It's got a real like mellow, it's probably like a late 90s, like R&B. I love Shine's voice. Anyway, and Barrington Levy's amazing that they sampled in. We have a Page of Swords. yeah, I think Pisces was supposed to listen to the messages from the universe, which is nudging Pisces and saying, sweetheart, you were always meant for a different lifestyle. You know who you really are. You're maybe more cosmopolitan. You're somebody who's destined to be with someone who connects with you and gives you a different quality life. Where the two of you will go, the things that you'll do will be huge. I know I'm not trying to be rude to this ex of Pisces, but it does say that there's a reason that this relationship didn't work out, is because it was never the right connection. What they would have offered to Pisces, maybe Pisces had been drawn to or attracted to somebody who still had like a lot of wounds, and Pisces is like, I know, but that's okay. I don't expect anyone to be perfect. And the universe is like, but Pisces, you don't carry the same wounds, and you should match somebody who can give you the finer things in life, not somebody who's still on this journey of just trying to heal themselves. I know you'd be willing to sign up for that, but Pisces, you also are somebody who is already very much further ahead. This Pisces could have big dreams, big goals. I'm feeling he's very sophisticated, very elegant. Pisces, we have the Tower. I definitely keep seeing again and again that the universe is saying, Pisces, this other relationship did fall apart because it set you free to actually get on the path that you're really supposed to be on. Pisces is meant for excellence. They're meant to excel. They're meant for partnership, relationship, connections that aren't super confusing. Look, I do think Pisces had this illusion, and the universe is so gently nudging Pisces to recognize this. You were dealing with somebody who had a lot of like conflict, and Pisces, was trying so hard to figure out this person who had all this conflict. And the universe is like, Pisces, that wasn't your job to unmuddle somebody else's mind. That was their job to do stuff. So the idea that, somehow this was still supposed to have worked out, this keeps saying, no, Pisces, you get to move forward, move beyond this. It wasn't your job. It was an illusion that you somehow were supposed to be with a particular person who had a lot of struggles that they were still going through. This is not that you're abandoning love. It's that this person had other things that they needed to devote themselves to. And it was a bit of an illusion that Pisces was like, but I believe in this and I'll be there for them and I'll help them through this. And the universe is like, that wasn't Pisces' job. With the Three of Pentacles, Pisces doesn't know it yet, but there is, as they transform out of this, as they release that relationship of the past that already didn't work out, but it's like it's time for Pisces to not only release it, but also to release any obligation on their part or feeling of like, well, what if I let that person down? Maybe I was supposed to still fight for a connection that wasn't working. I mean, it could have even been that a person, an ex, pushed Pisces away. It could have been kind of a devastating, painful, lengthy relationship that never really got smoothed out and that never worked and that never clicked. But as Pisces allows themselves to not feel guilt over that and just to move forward and be happy again, the universe is like, that's the transformation. That's exactly where Pisces energy has to start looking toward their future and realize, I get to, without guilt, feel excited that I get to meet somebody else who maybe will be less confusing, who will be more healed, and who will perhaps be able to share in a more prosperous, more exciting, better life. And it's like, yes, that's the prize the universe wants Pisces to put their mind on. You notice that these two don't have heads yet, but we see two people who've undergone transformation with their butterfly wings, and they share this like message in a bottle that has the moon in it. It's like, oh my God, I never even knew I would meet somebody like you. I never realized that there could be somebody out there that would be so different than the relationship of my past, so different than my ex. Somebody who is looking for someone just like me, where we can really build and grow. Pisces is already at an 8 of Pentacles. Pisces was light years more advanced, I'll say, in like creating a better life for themselves and being ready to like really level up. Like for Pisces, their idea of partnership would have been like, oh, I'm going to partner with somebody, and then together we're going to like, if I put my 8 Pentacles with their 8 Pentacles, we don't even just get a 10, we get a 16. I mean, our life could be off the charts with, wealth and wondrous things and, travel and this life of prosperity. And Instead, Pisces was matching previously with a partnership that was nowhere near an Eight of Pentacles. So Pisces has been freed from a previous partnership that was very confusing. And I think that this big message is that Pisces didn't abandon somebody. They have to look at it with more realistic eyes and say, look, I stayed for a long time and I tried to make it work and it didn't. And then I took a long time to heal, and I'm allowed to be happy. And I'm also allowed to match with somebody totally different that I can genuinely, imagine having the 16 of Pentacles life with a person. I think somebody new is right there on the horizon for Pisces, somebody who also has perhaps left behind connections and relationships that weren't actually successful. Yeah, Page of Cups sideways. Pisces and another person are both ready to not look over their shoulder at the past anymore, but look ahead. Our past is always going to be part of us, but look, Pisces is coming across as a mermaid. Yes, Pisces remembers the ex and probably loved the ex dearly, but you notice our mermaid has two faces. One looks back at the mask of the past and the other one looks forward. This card says Pisces is actually ready for new love. They may send a little like, man, I'm sorry that things couldn't have worked out between me and my ex, that I'll always hold a place in my heart for them, but I am going to move forward and let myself love somebody else, somebody new. And I definitely feel like this is the moment where there is somebody new right there at the gates, if Pisces is ready to welcome in a new person. Can we see anything about the new person? With the Judgment card, this new person could be somebody that has had eyes on Pisces for a while. They could be a Scorpio. There has been an undercurrent of attraction between Pisces and a new person for a while that Pisces was like denying. There has been someone that Pisces already knows is intrigued by them. And this could be the merest of like, every time I go into that one grocery store, that one, manager, checker, somebody who works there, I can tell that there's a flicker, but I have not acted on that because I was still getting over my ex. And it just feels like there has been, I'm picturing two people who work together, like in a medical office as well. Like maybe two doctors or doctor nurse scenario, or, assistant and, office manager, or, it doesn't matter what the dynamics are. I'm just picturing two people who've already been around each other, and they may very well interact or work together. They could also be on like, picturing two people that, see each other a lot, like at let's say a social function, community function, every day on Sunday on church or something like that. But there has been this attraction that neither person has shown. They've both been wearing a mask. There's already a person who likes Pisces and Pisces likes them. Nobody has made a move on this yet. They could be a Gemini. It could be a Scorpio. But the big holdup has simply been nothing's going to happen until Pisces is ready for something to happen. So very exciting though. It's just, I love the fact that the message here is it's time to be okay with letting go of a connection that already is over, and not holding oneself back from the next great chapter of life. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing.